Yee, welcome to Barstool Bench Mob, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. I am not going to speak. I'm going to stop speaking. I honestly think that all three of you have to. I think you just have to say the truth about what I've been saying all year. We're here. It's the Final Four. There's only 4 teams left, and there's a lot of Reeks. How many teams are there in the college basketball?
358.
358, and there's 4 teams left. That's a pretty good.
Wrong. NIT championship.
No, there's only
and
4
the basketball
teams left.
classic championship.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. 4 teams left. We all care about this, so I'd like you all to say your piece about what my performance on talking about one team that's still left, and maybe a congratulations. Let's see. Well, I want to see how you guys take this. Rico, you can go first.
Yeah, they've outperformed. I thought the metrics were going against them. Also, the eyeballs of what I watched, they've been playing out of their minds.
So you have bad eyeballs because you
not necessarily because
they were bad.
They're still at any point could give up. They could get rocked in any game that they're doing. But yeah, they've been out. They've obviously the X's and O's don't really matter. It's the Jimmys and Joes, as they say, and these guys have it better than anybody. They are one of the most talented teams in the country. That's why I was so hard on them early because it was so frustrating watching them give up easy bucket after easy bucket. They're the favorite to win it right now. It actually would be a letdown if they don't win it.
Congrats, Marty.
That's definitely bullish to do that now. You're asking for congrats now?
Yeah, they won.
Okay.
Riggs.
Jake, clip. They
Yeah,
won it all.
They won it all.
Congrats to Duke.
Yeah, Duke won it all. Riggs, I'd like to, just in case our new listeners, if you don't know who Riggs is, he's a Kentucky grad who they made the tournament, one of the tournament favorites. I'm sure they're in the Final Four. But
well, them making,
I forget sometimes.
Listen,
I only look at my region, you know.
Listen. It's building year over year, right?
Yeah.
So Duke missed the tournament last year. You go to the Final Four. Kentucky missed the tournament last year. First round.
Yeah,
that's achievement.
That's an achievement for Kentucky. So it's good. So anyone, again, doesn't know Riggs. Good for him. His Kentucky team lost to a Jersey City school. That's
a top 8 team.
No, that's good. Yeah,
well, they're clearly one of the best teams in the country.
You didn't do any hostage videos this year. It's an improvement.
Just congratulate me. Come on, let's go.
It's like congratulations to me, who called it on Selection Sunday that Kentucky had the toughest draw. They drew a top 8 team in the first round. I didn't see anyone else draw a top 8 team in the first round as a 2 seed. So congrats to me for being right and calling out the committee for the injustice they served these kids, I mind you. And, so congrats to me. And this is my fear. This is my nightmare. This entire tournament's my nightmare. Looking at you right now is my nightmare because we said it from the get-go, right? When we talked, the very first episode I was on, my fear was Duke does have 4 or 5 first-round picks, and talent wins out a lot.
Yep.
The only guarantee in the NCAA tournament is that a Big Ten team and a West Coast team won't win. Those are the only guarantees. Talent helps. And that's what Duke has. It fucking sucks. And what's crazy is you could look at the second round game and the Sweet 16 game were like coin flips. When they were down with under 5 minutes ago, they're figuring shit out, and that's what pisses me off more because they didn't figure that out during the regular season.
He makes a point in the last 40, I think it's now 45 years because I read the article a long time ago. Every team who's won the championship has had 3 guys play in the NBA.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for my congratulations. I don't give a fuck about what you guys are saying.
Well, it's knocking out
Jake,
as much as we want to pick on them.
Jake,
teams like Wisconsin, they didn't have 3 pros.
Jake,
let's face it.
What would you have anything to say?
So Brandon actually asked me on the stream, do I hate Marty? I said no, but it's trending that way. If Duke wins it all, I might hate you.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually might hate you.
I'm gonna tweet this out in a second. I will. Guys, as someone, it's hard to be me. It is hard. Duke.
It's the way you conduct yourself. It's not you're a fan.
What do you mean?
Do you know how hard it is to be me right now, Marty?
But you guys understand when everyone coming after you, Duke's gonna lose here. Okay, they don't lose. Marty gets happy. Duke doesn't lose again. Marty gets happy. Everyone gets sad. And I'm here. You guys are all here.
But a loss
this
to
is where
UNC,
you guys are. Oh, but that's what I've heard again. Okay. Oh, Texas Tech. Oh, I can't wait till he loses. Oh, Arkansas if he loses. I'm here. You all are losers here because you have no teams in it. I'm here. I'm going to enjoy this week, and I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm sorry I'm a winner.
I kind of hate that they're playing Carolina.
Yeah, because they're going to
I hate
smoke
that they're
them.
playing Carolina.
Because if Carolina beat them the
That's-
last time, if Carolina didn't beat them the last time, I'd be more scared. This is a redemption game. It's
No, I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well,
That's why I was like, anybody else, please.
We'll get into the X's and O's of the storylines and the matchups and the championship on the line. But today, we also have Villanova's Collin Gillespie for the second time this season. And we have an in-person guest. We just wrapped up with him at the start of this recording. It's Captain Beer, the Superfan from St. Bonaventure. He was in New York City for the NIT Final Four. Legend. And wait till you guys hear his plan on who the next Captain Beer will be.
Very serious.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
Dead serious.
So it should be fun. We'll be in New Orleans all weekend, and I'm just very excited.
Yep. Let's get to it.
And here we go.
All right, before we get to talk about these games, I want to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. We're going to be in New Orleans. They'll be flowing the entire weekend. It's real vodka, it's real juice, presented by real people just like us, and it's one of the easiest ads. It doesn't even feel like an ad anymore because all we do is drink them. When I go out in my personal time, when we go out during work, Rico has a starting five and is downstairs. Rico, how about you tell them something about a little High Noon?
Yeah, it's less filling. It's 100 calories.
That's a big thing, whereas you don't feel bloated with it, too.
No, yeah, you drink other stuff. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Foam, no foam. Real juice. Tastes good. Can feels good in your hands. It's consistent. Like and it's. I still feel like we're in the beginning stages. Like they're rolling out these new flavors.
That's what I was gonna
I don't know how
say.
much more we could talk about that. Like whatever, but they got the flavors coming out. They're awesome. It seems like we're still in the beginning of High Noon.
I appreciate High Noon because they're not content with their product. They want to keep building. They want new flavors. They want to keep going. So that's how High Noon is. It's summer's coming up. It's a perfect drink of any time of the year, but go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer. When you're watching these games, we saw a bunch during the tournament. Just tweet them at us. We'll retweet and interact. So go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer.
Yes. So High Noon's going to be very much present in New Orleans this weekend. So here's how we'll start here. We each prepared a list of our biggest / favorite storylines entering the Final Four New Orleans. I'll read my 5. I assume you guys will have some overlap, and then you guys can fill in the blanks on what I missed.
Yep.
Because I assume there will be some of that. So number 1, biggest storyline entering the Final Four New Orleans, I think we all agree. Duke, North Carolina, first ever tournament meeting in Coach K's last year. Probably the biggest storyline entering what is, I think, the biggest college basketball hype up to a game ever.
Can someone look up right now what was the Final Four ratings last year? I want us to all guess.
They're going to get shattered, whatever they were.
Do you think this is the biggest game ever watched?
Well, Rico said last year was Gonzaga-Baylor.
I said it was one of. I mean, it's interesting. You're becoming a pylon guy.
Damn, Jake is becoming a big
literally,
cat now.
I thought you were setting me up for that.
No, I wasn't. I
actually thought you
forgot.
were.
I actually forgot.
Seems like it's one brain sometimes.
Oh wow!
You said I don't have any
You're
original
saying
ideas.
that he only takes big cat's jokes, huh?
Yep.
Somebody's pulling those strings.
Wow, I love that.
I said it was one of the most anticipated championship games of all time when you looked at it.
Oh no,
This one's
you're not
without
going to
a
get
doubt-
me
I mean-
to agree.
What?
You're not going to get me to agree.
Last year?
Yeah.
I think you made a case for it. But no, this one's the biggest. It's the biggest game, it's one of the biggest games in college basketball history.
No, I don't think it's one. I think it is.
You think it is?
I don't think there's
Okay.
nothing.
I don't
in
disagree
this,
with it.
There's nothing in
Yeah,
that
'cause
can
what are-
ever come to this. If you give me a situation, what's the biggest with taking Coach K and just the history of the schools? There's no way it could get bigger than this. I really don't.
No,
think
I
so.
don't think so either.
Unless it's two like.
It'll-
Oh no, it
It'll
could
be
have. It
tough.
could have be a championship game
I would say 2015.
Yeah.
If
by
Kentucky beat
a hair.
Wisconsin,
By a hair.
if Kentucky beat Wisconsin, they're going undefeated against Duke in the title game. That's up there for
Close.
like.
Yeah, that's an
Yes.
arguable
Debate,
one.
right.
I think if two teams are
But-
undefeated, like that definitely can.
I think it has to be names too. Like it has to be the Blue Bloods undefeated.
If you think Gonzaga was undefeated against Kentucky or something.
Yeah, that could be one. Like I think one of the teams playing has to be one of the Blue Blood names.
I agree. But I just think that even with a championship of Duke-UNC, the fact that it's Coach K's last year is just elevating it so much more.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it would have been cool regardless, but that is just an insane thing that this is happening. Like I said, at the beginning of the tournament, we would, if you ever said Duke-UNC, like that would be such a cool story. You'd be like, all right, it's so stupid. But now in the Sweet 16, before anyone played in the Sweet 16, before Duke played Texas, like it's this could happen, and it's just happening.
In his
So
last year too, it's almost made up. It's actually like
we're living in a different universe.
Yeah, it really
now.
is.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I still think that Virginia thing was like almost scripted. Like that was too perfect. This has now top that as being the most perfect thing ever. To go from 16 to only 16 to lose to win a championship.
What do you think is the biggest game we've watched in our lifetime? What is Duke-UNC pass?
it's tough because there's not there's not so much of this history in these games. Usually, it's just usually good matchups of like a Kentucky versus a fucking some or like any of those. It's just not much of the history. There's usually never Kentucky Louisville playing in a fucking
that happened once.
Yeah,
that happened in 12. Yeah,
and it's just like you don't get many of that. So I don't know, what would it be?
I mean, it's income. I mean, it's outcome dependent. So like, if Butler beats Duke, that's the biggest game we've ever watched.
Right. I think there's a
But we've
difference
already
between
watched
the
these
reaction and the hype.
I get it.
I can't think
so
of a
really,
close second.
no,
for the
to
hype
be honest with you, no. I think, I mean, maybe like I talked about it last year. I still think I was looking forward to that game. So whatever, I'll die on that hill. It is what it is.
You're looking forward to the game because you were talking about it all year and they didn't play, and I understand why you said it.
Right, and we didn't have basketball for a year and a half.
Let
me ask you
Fine.
this though.
Just say you were wrong. Say if you'll feel better. Say you were wrong.
Hypothetical.
Say you were wrong. You'll feel better.
It's just a.
You'll feel better.
Yeah, okay, I was wrong. Glad you got that out.
Feels good, no?
see,
What?
It's a weight off your shoulder.
What?
Whatever.
What are you mad at?
I don't even know.
I don't know what you're mad at either.
We've all been wrong. We've all
I'm
been
wrong
wrong about
all
shit.
the
I mean,
time.
for a year later to then like basically like pull water out of a rock like and make the. That's wild to do like that. You were holding that in for a year and then like.
Oh, what for a year?
Rico, I literally
Got
wrote on my shirt for Wisconsin. I was wrong about Wisconsin. You have fun with when you're
Also,
wrong. It's
pulling
fine.
water out of a rock doesn't make any sense.
How much water's in a rock?
We're talking about the
Hard to
biggest
do.
hyped up games.
You were like
We're
just
talking about the
pounding
biggest
at the
hyped-up
rock
games.
till you got a drip of water out.
I wasn't pounding any rock. It's just
Jesus
like,
Christ.
what? When did you get so sensitive?
You didn't say anything when I asked it to Morrison, and Morrison said it.
I wasn't here for Morrison.
You were on the thing. All right, this is what it is. A year later, you got it wrong.
I can't tell if he's
I
actually
think
really
he's
mad.
actually mad.
It's wild.
What?
Just wait a year to like say,
I mean, we're joking around.
all right.
Okay.
We're also
I'll-
talking about the subject.
How about
We're
I'll
talking
say
about those hyped-up
Villanova? When I
games.
said Villanova's a fraud, they're in the Final Four.
was wrong.
I'm very wrong.
No, so did I. So did I.
Let's
I
all
took
say.
sexy.
You know what? Let's all say what we've done wrong.
Hi, my name is Jake,
not
and
from a
I was
year
wrong
later.
about Wisconsin.
A year later, I will say that I don't know. I was right about Duke, so I'm usually right.
God, you're the worst.
I
You're the
can't believe
worst.
you're really mad at me for that.
It's wild to just keep bullying for a year.
Bullying! I said to say you're wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Bullying.
The top two teams in the country, we got the game taken away. We didn't have basketball for a year and a half.
All right, and I said I understand why you think why you thought at the time because
I also
we gotta
said
take
one
it
of
away.
the most anticipated championship games. And you didn't necessarily list any that could top that over like the 15 years.
I was going
Like a
along
lot
with
of people,
the
that's
joke.
what they think. People are like, that's a ridiculous statement. All right. Well, which one did you think? Don't tell me ratings. Which one were you looking forward to more? You could say Duke, Kentucky. I mean, Wisconsin, Duke.
Wisconsin Duke definitely was more
UNC
anticipated.
Villanova, maybe. Obviously, the game changed that, but entering it's still like a big game. Two
Yeah.
big programs.
Duke UConn back in the day.
There's not, yeah, it's 99. It's going way back. There's not a ton, though, that were like you listing 10 in front of me and be like, all right, retreat. Like people had 2 or 3 max. So it's one of the
All right.
most anticipated games of all time.
So
Championship
all in all,
game, in my opinion, last 20 years.
he doesn't think he's wrong. I'm not gonna
Truthfully,
say you're
I
wrong.
don't.
All right, so that's where we got to. I
Truthfully,
won't
I don't.
admit that you're wrong.
Marty's a lot
You're
of
wrong.
things. I don't know if he's a bully, though.
Truthfully,
Be a
don't.
bully.
And
Was
everybody's
it
gonna be like, "Oh, well, it was a blowout." Yeah, okay, then what? We're just judging things on how they play out. Like I can't do that. I don't know the future. It's not fucking early edition. Sorry.
I'm gonna.
All right, we'll move on to.
I can't believe you're that mad at me.
A year later is where I'm really.
A year
sticking
later,
point.
Jake said it, and I was like, it's a joke. But all right, let's see where
right, we'll
where
move
the
on
rest of this
to,
fucking. We've done one moment.
Storm.
We're about to be the blows.
You know who's having a good NBA season? Unrelated is John Morant. I don't know if anyone's thought of that.
I don't know if you guys have also seen though. The Grizzlies are 18-2 without Ja Morant.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Ja Morant's awesome. This is also the worst time to bring up Ja Morant.
Well, somebody said he sucks. So I mean,
yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I was completely wrong. I love Zion Williamson, and I'm very wrong on Ja Morant. So, do you have anything to say?
I'm gonna start knocking down like Long Island grammar school people's doors of like what you were wrong about, and then see how you like it.
I'll
I
tell you,
love that.
that's why our business is the best, because we get to make takes, and like when Duke is winning, this is the best thing for me. When like last year when Duke didn't win the didn't even make the tournament, I looked like an idiot. I always look like an idiot.
It's all right. No stone unturned now.
Dave called me a moron.
Listen, it's fine. You broke up with Susie Lee because she talked too much in 6th grade and she's a smoke now? I'm going to go find out.
I'm so confused.
I actually
no
love
stone
this. The theory
unturned.
of what Marty got
Susie
wrong.
Lee.
Cahill passed.
My number 2 storyline for the 2022 Final Four, entering New Orleans.
Just real sorry. That all came because you said Duke-UNC is going to be one of the biggest games.
Which it is. But then you fucking went.
Me, Jake, said
standing
it.
in the like
Gonzaga-Baylor.
you're fighting your own wars and you just turned in the corner and shot me as a bystander.
No, me and you are always
it is.
on
It's the biggest game of
We're
all
always
time.
get yelled at together.
Got it.
Number 2.
Email me.
Do we need a hug?
tips@cahillslander.com.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of those, believe me.
Anyways, number 2, this is the most blue blood Final Four ever. This is the meme of Kentucky looking outside the Squidward window with all the other blue bloods having fun because Duke, North Carolina, Villanova, Kansas is a dream Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, it passes 2015. That's the only other one that came remote close with Michigan State, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Duke. And
Kentucky won that one too.
It sucks. Like I blogged it. This is my nightmare. Like, this is my absolute nightmare tournament where Kentucky loses the first round and then UNC beats the team Kentucky beats or loses to, and the Final Four are 3 of the biggest names, 3 of the 4 biggest programs in the country, and like arguably the most successful program of the last like 7 years.
I'll be honest. I sometimes go to bed like, man, I'm happy that bald fuck isn't happy.
Yeah, well, I fucking hate you, Marty. All right, tips@khslander.com.
There you go. You got Riggs on board, Rico.
I'm on board.
Recruiting's
Rico
going
now.
well.
I'm on board.
Yeah, but Riggs is laughing. He's not upset saying I'm going to take water out of a rock.
Well, yeah, I'm just miserable. I've been laughing at myself. I've had to laugh at myself for the last fucking 3 weeks. It's been awful.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, it's nice. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I know there's a debate on whether or not Villanova is a true blue blood, but they're a power enough program to be
I'm so
considered.
sick of that bullshit. They're a blue blood. Like
Yeah.
right now, if you think of Villanova, they're a blue blood.
Yeah.
I hate you have to be around for so long and so
Right.
a story. It's like they're the most relevant college basketball team you can even think of right now.
Up until last year,
Yeah, you could argue they're the most successful.
Yeah.
Up until last year of UCLA sneaking into that Final Four, like UCLA's had a pretty bad run of what was that last Final Four? 08? Like 14 years of nothing.
Yeah, you should be
nothing.
able
But they
to
made-
be. You should be able to be relegated
Yeah.
from the Blue Bloods. Like Indiana should be relegated.
That's Indiana.
yeah, exactly.
agree.
They don't even have blue.
UCLA
They're only
actually
one of the
keep
blue
it.
bloods that don't have blue.
Yeah, that's
I
also
agree
true.
with
So switching let's do that.
Villanova
we
for
are
Indiana.
our own blue blood school.
Official
We are
switch.
switching Villanova and Indiana as blue bloods.
All right. You heard it here first. I mean,
I'm
recently
fine with
it's
that.
hard to argue with that, but Indiana back in the tournament, so maybe that's a step in the right direction.
Got blown the fuck out.
By St. Mary's, yeah.
Indiana was nice to us, though. They're nice people.
Oh, they're
Sorry
awesome.
about the relegation.
Also, by the way, shout out Brian Walsh. She was the director of operations when we visited. He just got elevated to assistant coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Attaboy.
Yeah.
So we'll be back.
Yeah.
You guys are still blue bloods.
We love Indiana. Number 3.
They're the 7th one.
Debatable.
Coach K potentially playing Kansas in the championship, the same team he beat when he won his first in 1991. I think that's obviously what everyone is expecting because they're the 2 favorites on Saturday. So we could get Duke versus Kansas to close it
It's
out.
just crazy that it's not like Duke-UNC isn't enough for the NCAA.
Right.
They had to get the Kansas thing of like, it wasn't his 3rd championship, it was his 1st. It's like, you can't make it up. It's actually crazy.
Well, did you see that? I think I read something that his first season at Army, their last game was a loss to St. Peter's, or their last loss was to St. Peter's. So if St. Peter's beat Carolina, it would have been like
That's
revenge
fucking,
from his first ever season.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which I know we're pulling at straws when it comes to stories like that, but it's also like fucking St. Peter's is really the school that beat Army in his first season.
What I realized too about us on the internet and America, we can never just have fun with stories. We always have to keep pulling straws. Like Castellanos, that what he did in the spring training, hitting a single when they're talking about DUI, was such a stretch. Just let the fucking fun story.
I was waiting
happen.
for the home run to happen.
Yeah, let the story
it's a
that
single and it's spring training.
Let the biggest story that he did live on forever. And if he does it again in a home run, now we're just like, we can't enjoy one thing.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 is also a potential rematch. This time it's reversed. The potential 2016 title game rematch, Villanova and North Carolina, the Chris Jenkins shot. They could meet again if we have a couple of upsets on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a non-Duke fan, who's the championship you actually do want to see? Honestly.
I mean,
take all the feelings out.
You can't go wrong. Coach K, the longer the Coach K storyline goes, the better. But as a Duke hater, seeing them lose to UNC would be best.
Yes, but I also think that it would be a little bit of a disappointment this Final Four isn't the two best
But
teams.
if you're still getting Villanova, UNC, it's like...
Yeah, you're still getting it. Yeah. I know, but I think you still, if you have the choice right now as a fan to see Duke, Kansas or UNC, Villanova,
right,
you're going to pick Duke, Kansas. Just a no joke as a basketball
Yeah, it's just
fan.
hard to take. It's hard to take feelings out, though. Like, as a fan, like, you have feelings as a fan. So it's hard to take that out.
You don't want to see it,
if you want 1 versus 2, but it's rare that we see, like, the 2 best teams play in the title game. It's even more rare to feel like there's a rematch.
Although,
when's the last rematch?
Wasn't Arizona number 2 overall over Kansas?
No, I'm just saying you can argue semantics. Who's better, Kansas, Arizona? But when's the last time we saw a rematch?
Right. Between a championship game?
That happens.
Really
that's way more rare.
Yeah, 100%. And then the fifth and final storyline I have, you have 3 Hall of Fame head coaches, and then you have a first-year head coach, Hubert Davis, where if Hubert Davis wins it all, Marty, there is some tape that Jake's going to dig up because you made fun of his name from the beginning. And if he wins a title in his first year, or let alone just beats Duke, that's just even more trouble for you.
Listen, I have a lot of trouble looking at me.
You're either
Saturday.
it really is,
and so does somebody else.
The highest high or the lowest
but
low
I'm not.
for Marty this weekend.
I'm not going to say what he did. I'm not going to say anything what Rico says about
Careful
that.
about the water and the rocks.
Yeah, no.
I said I didn't think he was the guy.
No, not.
He's
well, no, not
overachieved.
just that, but the first-year head coach stuff.
Yeah, you
I
are a
didn't
big
say it.
anti
Jake said
first-year
it.
head coach.
Jake said it.
Yeah, I think it's an uphill battle. It's not impossible, but it's definitely an uphill battle.
I mean,
made
you
the
were
Final
acting like it was
Four.
impossible.
I mean, I'll tell you this.
He hasn't done it yet. So
They're
you might be
playing
right.
really well. The odds of him beating Duke and Kansas, I still say I take my chances that he doesn't cut down the nets.
But
I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
no, I agree.
Like that would be. I'd be like you lay it out, right? They were an 8. They beat a week 1 with injuries. Then they catch a break to get St. Peter's in the Elite 8. So it's like, let's start adding that up. If they, from now, where they are, it is what it is. But to beat Duke and Kansas, that's when it's like, all right, you know what, he earned his bones. But to get there were some breaks in his favor to get there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but I think
disagree with that. St. Peter's was the only break. They played the they could in each round until St. Peter's.
Yeah, they played chalk.
They beat.
Yeah,
they beat
okay.
a 9-1
Baylor was
and 4.
Baylor was banged up.
That's as chalk as it can get.
Baylor was banged up. Marquette was overrated. UCLA, we said. I mean, you're right. All right, they played high seeds to get there, but Baylor definitely being banged up to me. That helps a little bit.
Can you stop being a bully, Reese?
No, he's sorting out the points. He's not digging it out from a year later.
With
I
facts.
still also say I don't think Hubert's going to cut down the nets.
No, he's
But
not.
is that your argument? Is your argument just a
his
first-year head coach is never going to win a title?
Your
'Cause,
argument
yeah,
was-
that's. I mean,
No, it's just keep an eye out for it. That's like it's. So in my opinion, I am not picking teams with first-year coaches to win the national championship. Could it happen? I get it. I also said, I mean, worst case, I said he wasn't the guy. I said Carolina. I keep saying, I still think Carolina should have thrown a bag at Jay Wright. But, you know, Hubert's winning with other guys' players. We saw this happen in different places. I'm sure Reeves knows more off the top of his head. But, like, you know, when he starts bringing in the guys and then he has 3 years of success, all right, he's Carolina's guy. I think he's going to be a good coach. But
Tell you what,
right now he's playing with house money.
puts a lot of pressure on John Shire to be a good coach.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Which is kind of good for the rivalry.
He's going to be great.
They have 3 of the top 5 players coming in.
Without
Did
doubt.
you watch the McDonald's game last night?
I didn't know.
Tariq Whitehead.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was bad that
went.
went.
Half, yeah.
That shouldn't have gone against the NIT.
No, I agree with that.
That should be tonight.
Like I couldn't
I
find.
watched
it should be
McDonald's.
tonight.
I
What are they
watched the
doing?
McDonald's game over
I
that.
should just have TV.
But
Yeah,
you
just be the
did
TV
contradict yourself a little bit in the first-year coaches a little. Like when you picked Adams, you picked Texas Tech against Duke. Like I'm not saying it's. I understand what you mean with first year in the tournament is bad. Like, it seems like Painter's a first-year tournament guy every year. He fucking goes in there. So
it's insane how bad he is.
yeah, that's an off-season conversation. We had one on Pick Central.
Yes.
It's interesting. We had interesting points of like he brought Purdue #1 team ever in this year.
Yeah.
Brought them to a point where they're being talked about as like a real team, but he's only now. But now you have to get the consequences of being a real team where you're a joke in the tournament.
I said it was like this.
And
Reeves.
two,
It's like a white elephant party. Somebody like the gift that you think's never going to get passed around. People are like, oh, I love that gift. Like Seton Hall, right? They're tired of Willard. Maryland is like, ooh, I like that. I'll take that on the steal.
Yeah.
Purdue's at a spot right now where Matt Painter, the people are sick of him. Somebody like Northwestern and Nebraska wouldn't be dying to just get to the tournament every year like Matt Painter.
sure, and that's
and
like
it's
Painter's also he's had bad luck and bad losses. Like the Hummel injury year, they were probably favored to win it. The Virginia shot, like you're
Right.
one of the greatest plays we've ever seen away from a Final
Right.
Four.
Right. Just to force it
Yeah.
to overtime.
They lose in North Texas. They lose to St. Peter's. Yeah, it's so he's got a little bit of bad luck and a little bit of bad loss.
Yeah.
That's why I think Bill Self doesn't get he gets critiqued too much too. Like you look at his teams, they've like he chokes. They lost in the Final Four to who? The eventual national champion. They
Right.
just showed the fucking Trey Burke thing. Like they had them dead to rights. Michigan pulls one out of their ass. They become the eventual runner-up. Bill Self is there every year. I think he's unfairly critiqued.
Yeah.
I still
Bill
stand
Self?
by that.
Wipe that again.
Self?
Wipe that
Self
out this
1,000%. Look at his 5-year run, dude. They were in 2020. They probably would have won the thing or at least been there.
You can't. I hate the 2020 thing where it's like Dayton
Yeah, we-
won and all
It's
that.
okay,
Look at
fair,
this year.
but it's
Yeah.
still another opportunity. That's all. Like
They had the same teams this year.
he was a great team. 2019
Last year.
didn't. What'd they make? The Elite Eight? Was that the year? Or 2018? Was
2018
that,
they made the Final Four. They got
2018
smoked by Nova.
right? And I feel
Mitch
like
Lightfoot redemption game. 2 minutes.
okay, so that was the year
We'll
they
hear from that a
beat
little bit
Duke.
later.
2019 they had a good year. Like they're there every year.
I have a Bill Self. Bill Self's thing is weird, where he's probably the best regular season coach in the country. Like Kansas is always a 1 or 2 seed. It's fucking hard to win the NCAA tournament. Isn't it weird when you say though he's made 4 Final Fours? Like shouldn't that? I mean, he's made
That's
a
a
bunch
lot.
of Elite Eights,
Yeah.
but shouldn't it feel like it should be like 6?
Yeah.
the Villanova in 2016, without a doubt, he should have won that game. We still say that all the time. Perry Ellis took 5 shots. It's inexcusable. But
Wait, you're getting the games? 2016.
2016,
The
Elite Eight.
game, I
Oh,
guess.
Elite
They
Eight. Sorry,
lost
talking about
to
the Final Four.
What
Yeah.
did I say? Final Four?
Yeah.
Sorry, Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Elite Eight. They should have made the Final Four. They lost to Villanova. Perry
Right.
Ellis took 5 shots.
Yeah.
Lost to VCU in 11. Like
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
That was
People were
Shaka.
saying that too. Like a ton of Kansas
That was
people were
Shaka's coming
tweeting,
out
like,
party.
"Hope this isn't 2011 again." Fucking all the ones disappeared, and
Yeah.
Kansas was left standing. So
All right, I want to hear from your guys. You can fill in the blanks on what I missed for big storylines. But before we do that, we want to talk to you about Truebill. How many subscription services are you paying for each month? Do you know? Subscriptions add up, and sometimes we don't notice the monthly deductions from our bank accounts. Truebill is the smartest way to manage your finances. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Cancel subscriptions directly through the app. There's a variety of tools to help customers improve their finances. You can create a monthly budget and expenses, track or evaluate savings goals, and have automated savings where you can choose how much to put away weekly. Get push notifications as well when you're getting close to going over your budget or when your cash is running low. We see on your credit card statement tons and tons of subscriptions that you're like, oh, I'm paying for that. Marty had a story about Planet Fitness, how he's just giving them money without him knowing. So Truebill is here to save the day. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/bench. Go right now, Truebill.com/bench. It could save you thousands of dollars a year. Truebill.com/bench. All right, so we had our Sling show come out Wednesday at 7 Eastern. You can watch it back on Sling Rico, you announced a few of your storylines. So what did I miss that you want to throw on this show as well?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the text I sent to Jake. So number 5, will Ben Mintz find his way on camera? He's in New Orleans, King of the South. Yeah, he's got it. If he's in the building
he's
Monday.
do the ceremonial tip.
Right. I know it's a sensitive subject with the tailor. Does Jay Wright change it up and bring out the suit for good luck?
Nope.
Okay. They asked me to do 5 storylines.
Can't say nope. Get the tampon out of your fucking twat.
If the game gets out of hand, does Coach K start crying late in the game? One way or the other. They're down a
Both
100.
ways we might see it.
Yeah, he's like crying. He's made it to another championship. He basically ended UNC for all of eternity. Or he's crying they're down 15. He just blew it again, and he's never going to hear the end of it.
Nah, he'll whine and take it out on a player, probably on the opposing team.
All right, fail. Can Grant Hill remain non-biased in the broadcast?
Nope, Scotty Thurman already called him out for that against Arkansas.
Okay. And number 1, the Mitch Lightfoot Redemption Tour versus Villanova. He was a freshman in 2018. He has a chance now to make all of Villanova pay by cutting down the nets in 2022. Life comes full circle.
Should have been the second game.
Oh, you'll hear about this.
Did you think that was fucking serious?
Oh, God, do you think I'm serious making that line?
No, that was fun for an hour, and then Will Smith fucking fucked me because he slapped Chris Rock, and I couldn't have any fun anymore. The replies were the best. People like, it's Coach K's last game. I said, where was that publicized? I didn't read that. And then just Google searches of have UNC played Duke in the thing. I'm like, just
if I wasn't a bully,
fish.
I have a lot to say about that bit, but I'm not going to say it because I'm nice today.
Air it out. You don't like it?
No, I'm nice today.
I'm bored for an hour. I'm sorry. Like some people do drugs. I bait people on Twitter. That's my hobby.
I think that bit was funny for you.
Yeah,
and I like it.
It engages a ton of people, and I just kept doubling down.
Yeah, believe me, I'm literally tweeting right now. I understand how the Twitter works because like people getting mad at you. I'm tweeting. It's hard being me. Being about how being a Duke scholar is tough. Right. I understand how and people think I'm serious and think I'm an asshole for it. That's how you do it during this. But you thought it was funny for you.
Yeah, it was alarming to see how many people took it serious.
Yeah, because people take everything serious. It's crazy.
Marty, what other storylines do you have that we haven't brought up yet?
A big storyline I want to talk about is, do you think that Eric Church is an asshole?
Yes.
Or do you think that he is... Because I want to call him an asshole because if anyone doesn't know, Eric Church, big country singer. Is he a country singer?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. He's my favorite artist. He's probably
okay. Well, it's perfect for you.
Artist.
So
Well, he's a Kentucky fan, so he'd be mad because he didn't have anything to do this weekend.
That's
fucking
true,
Jake.
too.
What the fuck, Jake?
I like this Jake, actually.
Jake's a fucking bully.
So Eric Church, a UNC fan, has concert this weekend, and he canceled it to attend the Final Four. I want to call him an asshole because he's a UNC fan, but I respect the shit out of it. I think, like, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Some people think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go into an Eric Church concert. So, as an Eric Church fan, and someone that, honestly, not even being a dick, doesn't have a team in it, just, like, going to go watch, do you think he's an asshole?
No, I respect it. Because, again, like, he can and I know people come in from out of town and all that bullshit, but he can reschedule that concert in San Antonio. And also, like, if it was football, would Texas fans understand more?
Probably.
Yeah.
I said pour one out for the days of the VCR, of the days of like, hey, don't tell me I taped the game. You can't get that anymore.
No.
I know.
You got to go to the game.
No, but you always say that.
The game.
No matter what, if anyone
like,
one's recording the Final Four. No one's recording the Final Four.
Someone in the stands or in the crowd could just yell the final score.
I know.
He's at a concert.
Well, I think he could have pulled it off if he didn't tell anybody that he was like. Just tell his crew, his interns, like, hey, we're all going to have a big party and watch the game on tape delay. You're still watching it like you think it's live.
No,
his brother could call him. What if it's
anyone
be
like
that's part of it too, that you can't tape things anymore.
Right.
Like it's just the fact.
No, you can tape things. You just you'd have to put your phone away. But again, people in the crowd be like, if UNC wins,
putting on a concert, you can't do that.
Right.
I think that no matter what he. So this is what I say, because like everyone, remember when LeBron didn't play and people were like paying so much money to go see LeBron take their kids. Like I understand. You do play for the fans. The fans make the sports probably the best. But it does he give a fuck about every single fan?
No.
It's like, I want to go watch UNC. I'm gonna put on you bought tickets. I'm gonna put on that show eventually. Fucking
Right,
let him
or-
go watch UNC and enjoy himself.
Yeah, it's one thing. If it's one thing, if he was like, I'm just going to sit in my trailer and watch it, but he's actually going to New Orleans watching the game.
Did he
he's
announce?
going?
He's going to the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did he
I
announce?
thought he just wanted to watch it. I was like,
Did
hey,
he-
you could probably figure that out.
How did this come out? Did he announce being like, I'm going to the game? Because he would have been like,
Yeah, and then like Ticketmaster started doing the refunds and all that.
Because if you did say, like, if he lied, it was like, I got something. And then I see
That's so much worse.
at the game and be like, I almost wish he
front
did
row.
that. Being like, fuck, I had something to do. I told you.
He forgets. He puts a reaction video to a big
Yeah.
shot on his Instagram. He's like,
Yes.
oh, God, fuck.
Yeah.
He's sitting next to like Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, if I had tickets there at church, right, and I'm looking forward to it, it's the first time in a year and a half, like, you can go to a concert. I'd be like, I love that he's a fan. I get it. I would do the same thing. If we had a live show and it was Kentucky Duke in the title, and we were doing like a live stream, and Marty and I got tickets to sit in like good seats or even just in the arena, and Marty and I were like, listen, guys, we're gonna go to the game. Like, I feel like most people would be like, yeah, they probably should.
Yeah. But again, all these people, obviously we are the exact same as Eric Church, me and you.
Just gonna say.
But I think that all these people that booked this concert aren't basketball fans, because you know when the Final Four is. Everyone as a
Right.
basketball fan knows exactly when the Final Four is. So
Right.
And if you want to yell at that about Eric Church, it's also like, well, when's the arena open? Like, I don't know it fully, but like, does he actually pick the days where he's like, I'm going to San Antonio on Saturday the 2nd? Or is it like, here's my map of where I'm going, fill in the dates. Like, I'm starting on this day because it's open here, and then just fill in the days when we're, looping around the country.
yeah.
Yeah. Reeks, do you have any other storylines that we missed?
Yeah, I think Justin Moore injury
Yeah.
is probably a huge one.
sure.
That's an interesting one. Hold on a second. Can we look up if Eric Church missed Carolina's first round games? Like, is he just kind of now he has to watch them because it's the Final Four?
It's the Final Four.
I get it, but did he? Did he miss every one along the way? I'm gonna look that up.
I'll look it up.
Yes, I agree
Just
with you.
saying.
The Justin Moore injury is
Like, I'd
very important to a team, and we'll hear from Collin Gillespie in a few minutes. A team that has a 5 or 6 man rotation, maybe 7. Now, baby Archidiakono is going to have an elevated role, and he could.
Brian Antoine, like
Brian,
another 5-star
yeah.
guy that is finally getting a chance.
Yeah.
I want to see upcoming.
I need that clip.
He doesn't have a game on the title game, that's for sure.
Right. So yeah, I think that's another big storyline. But
I also think Jay Wright's one. Like, if Jay Wright gets a 3rd title, how different are we? Like,
3 in
to go-
6 years.
yeah,
He's the
like,
best coach
is
like
he in
ever
like the
lived.
like he says what it said as many titles as Dean Smith? It's as many titles as Roy. Like, do we
Yeah, I've
start
been
talking
saying
about
that.
him as like
Yeah.
do we start talking about him as like a top 8 all-time coach?
Dean Smith has 2. Roy has
Dean
3.
Smith has 2. That's right. Roy has 3. Dean has 2. So if he passes Dean, and now I'm not
Passing-
saying like titles are end all be all, but like, how do we
It
start
kind
talking
of
about Jay
is.
Wright?
In the realm he's in now, it is titles are end all be all. If he has 3 in 6 years,
And he's only 60. He could coach another 20, 25 years.
he's how old?
60.
I thought he was way younger than that. Wow, he looks good.
But he's been
He looks
around
great
forever.
for 60.
Yeah.
No, I know. I know. It's just crazy that he's if he wins 3 in 6 years, he's to be talked about forever.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the shorthanded team.
I'll have to go pull it up, and I don't want to give the podcast free advertising, but Jay Wright was quoted, and I listened to it this morning, and now I'm blanking on exactly what he said, but the host was like, do you feel like you're an underdog, or like you can like you're the least storyline here? And he basically said like, or can you compete? And he was like, with Justin, I think we can. So I don't know if he's playing like
Give the podcast light.
it's Francesa.
Yeah, I think.
With Jay
Cause remember,
Wright.
think
Did you
about
see
it.
the clip?
The lady that yells
find
us,
this fucking
the
clip.
lady that quoted us but didn't say our name.
Yeah.
We don't want to be them.
Well, Francesa, it's got some ads that might.
Yeah, but
conflict.
it's Francesa. It's fine.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I got to find the clip because the kid DM'd me. But basically, I don't know if he's playing like selling. Like now he's selling himself down and embracing the underdog. But I think his quote was basically like, with Justin, I think we're on par with these teams. Kind of saying We don't really have which everyone knows, but I think that may have affected him now in his gameplay, where he kind of knows, like, hey, this truly, like, I'll really be shocked if we beat Kansas. I'm just, like, based on his tone, that's what it gave off to me.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure, and we'll hear more from Collin Gillespie in a little bit about the shorthanded Villanova team. But before we get to that interview with Collin Gillespie, I want to talk to you about Mountain Dew. Hey, Baylor, Iowa State, and Arkansas. Be on the lookout for Mountain Dew on your campus in the coming weeks. This March, Mountain Dew signed a new roster of athletes, bowlers with personalities as bold as their flavors and the ability to ignite a stadium full of fans in an instant. The unsung heroes of the Mountain Dew Spark Squad were given a special mission this March. If they score in a game where their team wins, Mountain Dew would dump a truckload of free Mountain Dew on campus for Hoops fans to enjoy. The Mountain Dew Spark Squad features fan favorite players Carter Booth of Iowa State, Avery Hughes of Arkansas, and Andrea Katramatos of Baylor. Unfortunately, despite some heroic efforts, our Spark Squad member teams have been eliminated from competition this March. Even though our players didn't score during a team win, Mountain Dew still wants to honor these awesome athletes. So, Baylor, Iowa State, and Arkansas, be on the lookout for Mountain Dew on your campus in the coming weeks. That's Baylor, Iowa State, and Arkansas. Be on the lookout for Mountain Dew on your campus in the coming weeks. All right, here he is, the face of this year's Villanova team, Collin Gillespie. All right, we want to welcome on a very special guest on for the second time this season, the third time overall. It is Villanova's Collin Gillespie, the Wildcats, of course, in the Final Four. Your second time going to the Final Four. Of course, you guys won it all in 2018 when you were a freshman. Here you are to end your career in New Orleans. So walk us through this tournament run so far, of course, back where you guys envisioned, because you got this bonus year. Your season ended early last year. This is probably what you expected when you came back for another year, right?
Yeah, definitely part of the reason why I came back. Missing the last two Big East tournaments and the last two NCAA tournaments was tough, and being able to experience this with my teammates again has been really cool, for sure.
How does it feel that no one gives a fuck that you're in the Final Four? Where it's like, all right, like, good, Villanova's in, Coach K's in, you know, like, who cares about you guys? But in like seriousness though, it is crazy that
they're the fourth team.
We have Kansas, Villanova, and it's like kind of being overshadowed.
It's a crazy appetizer.
But it's just like, this is probably one of the best Final Fours we've ever seen. And it's like, how does it feel like even being a part of that?
Yeah, it's special. Obviously, it's 4 or 3 other really historic programs that have been to Final Fours and won so many national championships. So it's definitely special to be a part of. And I know there's a lot of talk about Coach K and all the other great teams, Duke, North Carolina, and stuff like that. And we're happy to just be a part of it, and we're happy to be there. We're ready to play.
I hope it's gonna be tough when we see each other in the championship, and I'll be screaming at you. Just letting you
You're
know.
on Kansas. Tell them.
What?
Aren't you on Kansas?
Oh yeah, of course I'm on Kansas. But I hope he wins. We're friends. But I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about Kansas. I care about Duke is going to win the championship, and I'm gonna be partying for the next 8 months.
Yeah, Marty's convinced himself that Duke's the underdog. He's like got
They
this
are.
whole. It's like going to war. He's like a boxer. Like he's promoting a fight. You can't. He's on Pluto.
Can't tell him anything.
He's
right now.
on
No, you
Pluto.
can't.
He's on Pluto.
Can't say a word to me.
I'm a big, like, some things are bigger than sports guy. You've obviously gone through your injuries. You come back. The press conference the other night, I saw the clip. Justin Moore. You don't have to tell us how he's doing physically. It's more so like, how's he doing mentally? Like, it's obviously a horrific break. Is he in good spirits? You guys kind of keeping him around, and what you did was obviously a great teammate. I'm just kind of seeing how he is.
Yeah, no, he's doing well. Surgery was successful, and he got it done right away early on yesterday, and we were able to see him. And yeah, he's in good spirits. We were just happy that we could see him. We didn't know we'd be able to, but he was right across the street after we had finished our lift. So we got to spend a little bit of time with him, and he's in good spirits, and he'll be back. He'll be healthy soon, and he's going to bounce back from this. I know he is.
What'd you go over to him and say when you guys won that game?
Yeah, I didn't know what had happened until I got back in the locker room, and then they showed me the clip of his calf.
Mm.
And he had rolled an ankle earlier this year, and he was out for a game. And I thought he had slipped on the floor or something. Just the way that he fell, it looked like he slipped from where I was across the other side of the floor. And in the middle of the game, he was like, I think the ref tripped me when he fell. And then he stood up and like couldn't put any weight on it. And I was just confused, and because we still had a minute left in the game. But obviously I feel for him right away. I think he knew something was wrong because he couldn't put any weight on it. And originally your immediate reaction when you tear your Achilles is to look behind you because you feel like you get hit or kicked or something like that. So I just felt really bad for him getting that far and that late into the game. Something like that happened, and I saw a lot of emotion on his face afterwards and just wanted to be there for him.
So when you came on this show in the middle of the season, Marty was critical of your lack of depth. Now with the Justin Moore injury, it's a lot more work for Chris Archer-Diacono. What are you telling him, knowing that you guys are maybe 5 or 6 deep? He's going to have an elevated role on the biggest stage in the sport.
Yeah, guys are going to be in new roles. Obviously, we can't replace Justin, but other guys are going to have to step up, and they're going to be put into different roles, different situations, have the ball in their hands more. Guys like Caleb Daniels, Jermaine Samuels are going to be decision makers now and have the ball in their hands a little bit more. And then guys like Arch and Brian Antoine are going to have to play valuable minutes off the bench now. So everybody just has an increased role, and I think they're ready to do it. Those guys have worked hard all season in practices, and I think that they've been ready all year. It's just we play a shorter lineup, and coach just goes with 6 or 7 guys, and those guys kind of just fell out of the rotation a little bit, but they've been ready ever since Big East play.
See, you're the face of Villanova. You're good at basketball. You're good for you. But your dad's becoming a star.
What I wanted to get
He's
to.
becoming a star on the TV. You guys are fucking tank.
What, did he? I had some DMs. He said he coaches football. What's his?
No, he did coach football. He coached high school football when me and my brother were in high school on our high school football team. And then once we both were out, he was done. But yeah, he's a coach at heart. They're showing the good stuff. And, for sure. They're making him look good, but he's eating it up for sure.
He's got a tan like Portnoy at all times. Where's the tan from? And 2, I don't know where you summer, but Philly's usually Sea Isle. Like, has he lined up bouncer gigs now, being on TV like through the summer? Is he set?
No, he's a beach guy for sure. Wherever there's a pool, ocean, it doesn't matter. He'll be there. He'll be there with a beer in his hand on the beach.
Yeah, but how's he tan in March?
Somebody came up to me the other day when we were in San Antonio, and he was out at the pool all day.
that guy was like, he came out of the womb with a beer in his hand. He was like on the beach already.
Nah, he's always ready to go. That dude's nuts.
One thing about your team that is just amazing and historically amazing is the free throws. You guys are 83% as a team, which is the best clip literally in college basketball history. Is there something specific in practices you can give us a clue on why you guys are so good at free throws? It's insane. Like when the game's coming down to the wire, there's just no doubt you guys are making them.
Yeah, I mean, we've lost games at the beginning of this year just not making free throws, and we work on it every day. We put pressure on ourselves in practice to step up to the line and make free throws in tough situations. And we talk about different situations that we could be in at the end of games in practice. So I think it's just constant repetition every day in practice. When we work on it, we're taking it serious, and we're getting game reps in. And I think not having a fear of failure, not being scared to miss a free throw and just say attitude, go down the other end and get a stop is something that we pride ourselves on. So I think that's a big part of it. When you know that your teammates got your back and you're just going to go down the other end and try to get a stop, then you have more confidence to just step up there and knock them down. So I think it's a little bit of that fear of failure or not having a fear of failure and constant repetition, working on it every day in practice.
What is your history? I probably should have looked it up. What is your history as far as game 1 or game 2 in the Final Four, and which one do you like better?
What is my like?
What the fuck
what
are you
do I?
talking about?
if they're playing first or playing second.
Why are you so obsessed with this playing first?
No, I think when I was a freshman, I think we played
In the
second.
tunnel. It's like a legitimate, like, would you rather be out there, you're ready to go, or you're delayed? That's all. That's really.
Well, I mean, that's like any tournament, any situation, any tournament that you're in. We had that Big East tournament, and then I think we've played second now most times in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think it really matters at this point.
Of course it fucking doesn't matter. You're waiting for your game.
Personal preference. I legitimately just personal preference.
He's been obsessed with this question all week.
Way.
You have.
No, I did the troll thing.
Dude, he's going to New Orleans just to like try and learn about X's and O's from these coaches and shit. He's gonna be insufferable. You think I'm insufferable, a Duke fan? You should be like
It's personal preference. I just asked which one he likes better. That's all. Legit.
I don't think it really
Fair.
matters.
All right. Well, you're a robot, so you got to remember that too. That's my other question. Like you against Christian Brown, do you think that's the most like clean cut matchup ever? There's gonna be a ton of like fathers telling their kids this is how you should play with the guy, and a ton of mothers being like, you should marry a nice boy like him. Look at him. I think it's the most clean cut matchup in the history of college basketball.
No, that's definitely funny, but he's a great player. He does a lot for his team in terms of just doing all the little things, and then he makes big plays, super athletic, can score at any part of the floor. And we played him my junior year, and he made some big plays down the stretch when he was a younger player. So he's experienced now, and he's older. So he's a tough player to play against.
He talks a lot of shit, too. A lot of shit. Oh, yeah. I would love to hear about it after, because they said that he talks a lot of shit on the court, but then after he's like the nicest guy in the world. I heard.
Where did you hear that?
I saw an article.
Marty's stirring the pot. Just absolutely no good.
Put it this way. I think I've said it all the time. I think he's very much like you. He does everything right. I would love to. He's a guy who could play on my team any day. The fact that you went out and researched if he talks shit or not tells me it has to be true because you don't read anything.
I'm getting ready. I'm trying to have every ammo I can against any team Duke plays.
Going to war.
Collin, you have history in it because of 2018. Shooting in a football stadium versus a regular basketball arena, is it take a little bit of a different approach? Does the shoot around mean a lot more in terms of getting used to it?
Yeah, I think having a day, when you get there, you have a day where you have closed practice, and then you get to have a good feel of the arena. It's definitely different because the backdrop, there's way more room, and it's not fans immediately right there. So it definitely is different, but having a day or two to be in the arena, kind of get a feel for the rims, the backboard, shooting in that type of environment is definitely beneficial for sure.
And then I had one more. I know the last time you were on, we were confusing you with the name Connor, which you said you get a lot. So there's Collin Gillespie, who used to be in the MLB. And then PFT, right before this interview, he asked if you have ever heard of the NFL fullback Collin Gillespie, because he used to think that was your last name. He's a big fullback guy.
That.
No clue?
Nope. No idea. But they must have been good players.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So... you guys got anything else?
No, I guess just, we asked, I think Jake asked it was a pretty good question. Villanova wins if what on Saturday?
We just got to do what we do. Play our style of basketball, compete on every possession and play hard. Obviously, not having Justin out there with us is going to be tough not having him out there, but guys are going to step up and be in different roles, and I think we just got to go out there and play Villanova basketball and defend and rebound. And I think if we could do that, then we'll give ourselves the best chance.
Just good luck in one of two games. That's all I'm going to give you luck for.
Appreciate you.
See, that's pretty nice of me. I could have went shitty, but I was like, you know what? You can have luck the first one.
Duke fan.
Yeah, just another one of those obnoxious guys in Royal Blue you'll see down in New Orleans. Well, Collin, we really appreciate the time. Safe travels to New Orleans. Hope to see you down there. And best of luck. 6:09 Eastern, the first game of the doubleheader.
Yeah, all right. Marty just shits on everything.
Final four.
I was planning on going to the open practice too. So tell Jay, give us a wave. We'll be there. We'll see you. Good luck.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
You gonna wave to Rico if you see him in open practice?
Yeah, I'll wait till I'll wink at him.
If you don't, you think he's like big time in me. I'd rather have COVID.
We're not friends anymore if I don't say what's up.
I got big timed by fucking a guy I used to work with. He was with Danilo Gallinari at a concert, and all I did was say, "Hey, Nick," and he goes like this, and looks and walks the other way. I'm like, "You big time me in front of it? I want that guy dead." So
Jesus.
I'm just saying.
All right. Anyways,
But
Collin.
you're a nice guy. Just say it. You're a blue collar guy. You're ready to go. You won't big
So
time
basically,
me.
you want him dead if he doesn't say hi to you at open
He would
practice.
never do that. He's a face of Villanova. And he knows I'm a psycho on Twitter. I'll go after him like Gottlieb.
He's prepping for the biggest game of his life, but the top of his priority list, opening practice, should be saying hi to
I
you.
agree. No, I would
Say
be.
what's up to
That would,
Rico.
Yeah.
that would be my top
I
priority. to
didn't
be
say it
honest.
was a priority.
No, it should be.
And I don't know if you'll even see me. But if you do and you big time me,
I'll give you a nod.
thank
for
you.
sure.
All right.
All right, Collin. Thank you. Good luck, and we'll see you down there.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, that was Collin Gillespie. So you're listening to this either Wednesday or Thursday. So Friday, it looks like, we'll check out open practice. And if he doesn't wave to Rico, he's dead to you.
Yeah, playfully.
No, I think he's dead. Actually, dead to you.
He's got a lot on his mind. I said that. He's.
No, I think it hold true to it. That's how you are.
If I know he sees me,
and he doesn't wave,
right?
You're done.
Yeah, it's also timing. Like if he's next up in a drill and like we lock, but he's got to go get the ball. Like there's levels to it. If I know he directly big times me, yeah, he's dead to me.
All right.
You just have to deal with his dad, maybe.
That's part of the reason why I'm
Tiptoeing around it.
reconsidering. Yeah.
That's
Got
scary.
that guy with a fucking hog and you making you do an Oklahoma drill in the middle of the court. Like, no thanks.
So shout out to Collin, of course. When he got hurt last year, he wanted to come back another year with the hopes of getting to the Final Four. And here he is. Let's move on to our next interview with Captain Beer of St. Bonaventure. But before we do that, it's Sling TV. Watch our exclusive Sling Show Bracket Buzz. Again, Wednesdays, 7 Eastern. It's live now, on demand by the time you're listening to this, on Sling. And if you love watching live sports, but you're tired of the high prices, it's time to take control of your TV experience. It's time you got Sling. And it's the cheapest way to watch college hoops. Sling is easy to set up, easy to use, and there's no contract. Sign up now and try it absolutely free. Whatever you're into, Sling is where you can find the live sports you love all in one place. Go to sling.com/barstool to sign up now and try it free. All right, here he is, the one and only Captain Beer. All right, we now welcome on a very special guest. It's a super fan of the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, it's easy to tell who this is. It's Captain Beer. He's got a shirt. He's got the hat that travels everywhere. Captain Beer, we appreciate you coming on. We have to start with some housekeeping. We have 10 people crammed in this room right now, but only one of them blocked you on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah, that would be Rico Bosco.
Oh, Jesus.
that would be Rico Bosco has me blocked on Twitter.
Why is that?
How do
So,
you get blocked as a? Are you fucking
think-
serious?
Christ,
My
what's your
sophomore year,
handle?
we were in Toronto for a basketball tournament. The Bonnies were. And I won't name names,
Wait, one
but
sec. Slow down. You were in Toronto?
Yeah.
For the Bonnies
You go to every
tournament.
game?
not every game, but we try to go.
What's your handle?
Dominic_Greco or Dominic_Greco.
We'll block that out.
But yeah, so what happened was we were in Toronto. We were playing Rutgers, where the Raptors play, and I'm not gonna name names who was there. I didn't know there was beef at the time between you guys. And they tweeted out the Wolf Pack, which is also our student. That's also our student section name.
That's fine.
And they did the same like finger thing that we do as the Bonnies do. So I thought they were cheering for the Bonnies. So I liked the tweet.
So you got clipped
Wait,
with fire.
Yeah, I got-
Pop that in there.
Yeah.
You just got. Listen, let me tell you something. When I go over the hill, I don't look for faces. I just see who's there. So you got clipped.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
that was-
happens. That's.
So you
I
didn't even
apologize. That's
tweet.
not.
You just liked the tweet.
What'd you do? Liked it?
I think I liked it and maybe like retweeted it because I thought they were like cheering for the
Retweet.
Bonnies.
Retweets on him.
No, he was
All right,
thought
fair.
that
I
he
got it.
thought someone was rooting for
That's
the
fine.
Bonnies.
Those bodies.
And I
are,
love that he's serious. He's like, oh, someone's rooting for the Bonnies. I'm retweeting.
Those
That's
bodies.
what it
Those
is.
bodies are buried.
So
It's
when
all right.
did you start with the beer hat on your head?
So yeah, I bought the beer hat my freshman year at a Spirit Halloween store. I got it for Halloween. Never meant to.
Yeah, you're out.
Never meant to wear it to a
shame.
basketball game or anything like that. Never wore it for Halloween that weekend. Sit in my closet for a few weeks. My buddy Eric goes, "You have to wear it to a game." Yo, I'm not going to wear it to a game. I'm not doing that. Like, that's too much attention. That's weird. He keeps daring me to wear it. I finally wear it to, like, the second or third home game. Walk in, and I'm a super fan. Like, I'm passionate for my Bonnies, passionate for the Bills. Like, all my teams passionate. So I'm just loud at games. And then it just blew up. Second game I walked in, security guard wearing the hat. Security guard goes, "Hey, how's it going, Captain?" And I think it was my buddy Josh and Eric turned to me and they go, "You're Captain Beer. It's perfect for you. You're Captain Beer." And then I've worn it to every game that I've been to since.
I mean, you're a slut for the camera. Yeah, every time the camera, you know when that camera's coming near over there.
The camera constantly comes to me. Like, I even know, like, now when the cameraman comes, like, don't start doing it until the camera turns red. You know, like, I'm not going to waste energy when it's not red.
So you're here in New York with a few of your buddies. By the way, none of you guys are blocked by Rico, right? All right, so we got to get through that. So you're here for the NIT semifinals. Sorry about the loss last night. But you are a senior at St. Bonaventure.
Yep.
What's the plan now? Are you still going to go to the student section? We have TJ at Rutgers who still goes and is still a legend in the student section. Is that the plan, or do you have something else up your sleeve?
So right now the plan is not for me to go in the student section. I've actually been working with the athletic department the last few months to kind of scout out a replacement, to kind of wear a beer hat and to keep like a figurehead in the student section for some of the lead chants, get the students going, and for some of our alumni could look to like lead
passing
everything.
Passing of the beer.
I mean, if you look at other student sections, if you look at other student sections in the country, they have like organizers, student organizers that run everything. At Bonaventure, we don't have that. That's been me the last 4 years. I kind of run everything, and I organized a trip to Virginia last week to get us down there. So like to keep that figurehead in the student section, that's what we're trying to do.
I love him. I'm infatuated by it. I'm not laughing at you. The way, like, because the way you're talking is like, that's a fan. That's what college basketball is the best. It's like, I'm a Duke fan. I didn't go to Duke. People get very upset at that. They all can go fuck themselves. I like the team since I'm a kid. I'm gonna root for them. Unfortunately, my team's a lot better than yours. But but like you're St. Bonnie's through and through.
Yeah.
But you care about your legacy being go down and be like, hey, someone else got to take this student section over.
And that's what it all is. I mean, you guys haven't been to the Riley Center yet.
I have.
You have been. Oh, Vermont.
Opening night, we beat
I
you guys.
You didn't DM me back that night.
Oh, Jake, big time the beer guy. Oh,
You
so I'm
DM
the only good guy right now.
Marty's the good guy
You
right now.
DM me the night of the game?
Night before the game.
Night before the game? I apologize.
Jake, what a dickhead Jake is. This is huge for us.
I mean,
Rico has him blocked. I'm not
But
on
he
the right.
knew what he
but
did. He knew what he did.
No, I knew what
If
I
he
did.
reached out, I would have got him out.
Once I figured out I was blocked, I was like, I ran it back in time. I was like, that's why I was blocked. Like, it made sense.
It made sense for retweeting someone saying, go Bonnies.
But, yeah, I mean, like, Riley Center's awesome. It's packed. It's not big. It's not special. And, like, the amenities that we have, it's not a lot. But the Bonnies fans, like, we pack that place, and it gets loud. So it's one of the best atmospheres in college basketball, 100%.
So can you break down what is the next legacy guy? Who's going to be the next captain? Is
what's the application process?
So
Have there been a bunch? Are people starting to fill in like they want it?
No, like no one even knew this was a thing. Like this is really the first announcement I made about, like, other than me at the assistant AD talking about it, and the guy that's going to replace me. It was just I was just keeping my eyes open at games, like who's the loudest, who's trying to start chants, who's starting chants, who's enthusiastic, stuff like that, simple stuff, and we found one guy hopefully. So.
Oh, you got a prospect, and he's
yep. So
do you have to go through a process? I feel like you've done something where it's like if I see another guy in this hat, it's gonna be like it's like when we replaced Derek Jeter. It's like I don't really want him there anymore. You're Derek Jeter, the Bonnies.
So the thing is, like again, just someone who's really passionate. You could see that at games, and you could see that on the camera. The alumni can see that. That's really just the main thing we looked for.
Are you like an NBA GM where you're drafting like seniors in the NBA? They don't want any part of it. They're too old. Are you looking to get 2 years out of this contract? Like, are you looking at juniors?
No,
so you're looking at
That's a
sophomores?
good question.
We're looking at he's a junior right now. He'll be a senior, so we're trying to keep that a
1 year deal.
1 year thing.
All right, 1 year
You
deal.
work your
all
way
right.
up, and senior year it's like a privilege. You could possibly be captain.
That's
beer.
a good point. You don't want any fucking twerp freshman thinking he's
No,
a beer guy for 4 years.
But you got to earn it.
Sophomore.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
Now, is it like you give that hat, or he has to get his own?
No, I'm keeping this hat. So
There's no chance he's gonna have a hat up.
That should be in a display in the front of St. Bonnie's.
Yeah, next to Bob Lanier's show.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So what's next for you now that you're graduating? Are you still going to be a fan in some sort at the games?
I
or-
mean, I'll probably I live in Buffalo, so I'll probably have season tickets and probably still wear the beer hat. but probably won't be in the student section. But I'll be like the same as always, going crazy in the.
Yeah.
We call it the Reds.
I feel like
where
everyone in
sits.
Buffalo looks like you. I don't know why. I've never even been to Buffalo.
You gotta go. It's awesome.
I want to go to a Bonnie's game.
You gotta go. Got to a Bills game.
Wait,
Bills
if I
game
go
on
to a
Sunday?
Bonnie's game, would you go in the student section one
Yeah,
more
we
time?
can make that work.
All
We
right.
can make that work.
Yeah, I don't want to go
If bench,
without you.
if bench mob comes down for a Bonnie's game, we
Yeah.
can make that happen.
We might have a beer guy here too. Maybe we make him make the trip.
Yeah.
I talked a lot of shit about the Bonnies this year. I'm sorry.
We didn't live up to expectations. As simple as that. We November we were looking good. I mean, we were 16th in the country after Charleston. Then AJ Green hit us.
Yep.
And then Kyle Lofton, our starting point
The
guard, got
problem
hurt.
with you guys was that it was too. I think it was too much hype. And you had 5 people come back. Everyone's like, "Oh, the stars are back." Well, when you play the starters 47 minutes a game, it's tough to win.
Yeah, and then I mean, the players knew they came out in January. I think it was February, like 7-1, some crazy record. And a reporter asked them, like, "We just had fun again." They in the middle of the year they just lost having that fun for the game.
A lot of pressure.
Because they had a lot of pressure on them, and I don't blame them. It happens, and they were able to gain that back. And heartbreaking the A-10 tournament to make a run for a small school.
Those
we have
free
less than,
throws, right?
Yeah, less than
But you
2,000
also saw
students.
what they just did in the NIT too.
Yeah.
Like you
We-
knew they had the talent.
Yeah,
And
no, I mean, we went in and we beat Colorado, we beat Oklahoma, and we beat Virginia. That's 3 Power 5
All on the
schools.
road.
Yeah, all on the road. I mean, they sent us everywhere, the NIT.
People
They
say-
did not want us to win.
No.
And that, technically, Oklahoma won against NCAA rules to have that game played in Oklahoma Sunday night.
Oh,
Because they had the
he's
women's
got a guy
tournament
at
there.
Oklahoma.
They had a women's tournament there. Then Virginia, I mean, technically, we are ranked ahead of them. Then they sent us to Virginia. I mean, just saying.
I love it.
A little suspicious coming from
that's
the
why
NCAA.
also
People
that's
say
a perf.
the NIT is way more important than March Madness.
Some NITs do. Get up on Twitter.
Yeah.
NIT is bigger than March Madness, some say.
A lot of people are saying
I mean, where else?
Duke-UNC
Where else do they play in the Garden?
or
Right.
Bonnie's.
Do they play the NCAA tournament in the Garden?
No.
The Final Four?
Sometimes they have the Sweet 16.
Sweet
there.
16, but not a Final Four.
You're right.
Come on.
Here and
True,
there.
it's
World's
true.
most famous arena.
One of my
Right.
favorite things is the A10 being like, I mean, you're nuts, obviously,
yeah.
for the bodies.
I mean,
Or
look,
like,
look,
look, Dukes is everywhere we go. Like, he'll shake coach's hands, like, "Hey, Coach Huggins, nice to meet you. You want to play Dayton?" Like, he's a fucking nut job. Arya tells the story about VCU being mad at Wichita for stealing the song. St. Joe's hung a fake banner. The URI people are heckling Cooley. Like, the A10's nuts, and you travel everywhere. Obviously, like, what's the rundown of the league? Like, who's like peons? Like, who do you not even take
Mascot-wise.
seriously? Or like, well, fan bases too. Like,
I'm saying fan base. I don't care about the team right now, to be honest. I want
yeah.
fan. I
yeah,
want
so
like who's
like they're trying, but they're garbage. Like, who do you take for real? Like,
For the most part, like, I mean, there's like a thing called A10 Twitter. It's nutcases on there,
yeah,
honestly.
they have
Like a
LaSalle
bunch of-
guy. Yeah,
I mean, LaSalle guy is awesome.
Goal is standard.
Yeah, they're all
I'm in with
awesome
all these
people.
Isn't
guys.
the VCU?
Yeah,
personnel
VCU. I'm
there?
good with VCU fans for the most part. I haven't had any problems with them. They love me. I mean, for the most part, like, everyone loves me, which is, I think, funny.
That's nice.
I hate St. Louis fans.
The Billikens.
Yeah, I mean, probably because they beat us freshman year in the championship game, and then this year, I mean, and they tweet at me and stuff, and I'm like, who are you? Like, I don't, like, just get off my Twitter. I don't need to know who you are right now. And they just come at you, and they think they're all this and that, but I mean, they're really not. Like, they got a great arena and stuff, but
So respect everybody but St. Louis,
yeah,
which is interesting because you know who would have liked you. I feel like is Majerus.
yeah. I mean,
Been known to put a few back every once in a while.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, there's probably only a few St. Louis fans I don't like. I'm sure there's definitely one or two that I do like on Twitter, but the ones like, just, I don't know. Not a fan of them.
You like beer?
I like beer. Oh yeah, Blue Light. Oh yeah.
All right. That's a good question. We probably should have.
Yes, fair. So, of course, you told us the story of how the beer hat came into you being a fan. Did you always plan on becoming a super fan and being the face of St. Bonaventure basketball in the stands?
No, not even close. I mean, it just started as a joke between me and my buddies to wear it, and then I found out throughout the course of my freshman year that alumni and the fans of the game started to like notice me and love it, and then I mean, it really just blew up.
Like when Big Cat tweeted it out, or like anyone from
Yeah.
Barstool tweeting out, were you like, what the fuck's going
So
on?
I remember the first time Big Cat tweeted me out was freshman year. We were in Brooklyn at the A10 tournament, and he just tweeted out it was a big dunk, and I was going crazy, and then he just tweeted out legend, and I'm like trying to focus on the game, but my phone keeps blowing up. I have people running down like 20, like I have like 20 people running down from like 20 rows behind me, like Big Cat tweeted you out, Big Cat, and like that was a big moment, and then.
I like that. Not now.
Game's on.
I'm like
Bodies
trying
are up 6.
because I mean we're in the A10 tournament. Like I'm trying to focus. Like I'm huge. Like I'm into the games. So like yeah, I'm like I don't want to worry about anything else. I'm just into the game. And then it just like keep going up. Big Cat, and then sophomore year, Big Cat liked a few of my tweets and tweeted me out a few times when he saw me. Junior year, of course, there was no COVID stuff, so there was no fans. And then this year, I think he tweeted me out in the Charleston Classic, and then tweeted me out 8-10s a few times. I was praying at the last free throws and stuff like that. And then last week in Virginia, he tweeted me out beer guy. If you think March is over, Verbona's beer guy. It's not. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
NIT is unbelievable.
And then Big Cat followed me, and then it was crazy. But the funny thing about the NIT is I raised $6,000 to get from Bona's alumni to get 43 students from Olean, New York, down to Virginia in 24 hours.
Look what's happening.
That's
I got the
awesome.
chills.
That's awesome.
So
I got
I mean,
the chills
if you,
from Captain Beer.
Bonnie's alumni, we're crazy. We love Bonnie's basketball, and they donated $6,000 to get 43 students fully paid for, tickets, gas, hotel, food, fully paid for to get us down there for the game.
Amazing.
fucking
I
awesome.
saw that there was some travel issues coming down to New York City. Were you guys part of that? Or can
No,
you
so we
give
were
us
not
some
on
details?
the bus. We were not on the bus, but buses are actually really hard to find right now for some reason. There's not enough bus drivers, I guess. So they were really struggling
How
to
do you
find
know
buses.
that? It's hard to find
Everything
buses.
was
What do
affected
you
with
mean?
COVID,
Oh,
bro.
you
You
Everything.
can't just, you're like him. You
Well,
say things. I'm
I-
like,
no,
yeah,
that's
what do you mean?
accurate.
There's
I
just
was,
no
like, trying to
buses
hide
I
around.
mean, he's looking for buses to
You
go to
think there's
games.
no buses around?
No,
Nobody wants to
there's-
work.
Nobody. That's the problem. There's a shortage of bus drivers.
Joey's America.
And so it was really hard. And then we had a bus company from New Jersey that said, "We'll give you guys some buses." Ended up they ended up pulled out last minute on Monday night. They pulled out, and then so the school kind of scrambled to get about I think 12 buses, 4 tour buses, a bunch of shuttle buses. Probably not in the best shape it looked like. I kind of got word of it that the one bus was smoking very early on. Next thing I know, they're on the side of the road because they can't breathe in the bus. I guess later down the road, that same bus or a different bus caught on fire.
Somebody else got pulled over, I saw, right?
One bus got pulled over. I guess he was going about 85. Got pulled over, and then after he got pulled over, he just kept going 85 the rest of the way.
Shout out to Bonnie.
take the game.
$6 grand for bozo drivers. You're fucking nuts, man. I love it though. But that's seriously my favorite thing about college basketball is people like you.
Yeah,
where
it's
it's
the
not a
Superfans.
big school.
Yeah.
But it's they're always in the mix in the A10, and it's just you're ride or die for them.
100%. I mean, that's St. Bonaventure basketball. We got less than 2,000 students. If you looked at the
That's
power,
smaller than St. Peter's.
Yeah, smaller than St. Peter's. I mean, when we go play Colorado in the NIT, and we go to Oklahoma, and the best thing, we're consistent in the A10 because Mark Schmidt is, I think, one of the greatest coaches in the country. Because we might not have the best players, he can't get best recruits, but he finds the hidden gems and he just works with them. And I mean, look at where we are. We're playing at Madison Square Garden in the NIT.
I think they're
semifinals.
ranked next year. I think in the preseason top 25, they're on the cusp. I could
Could
be
be a
wrong.
clean slate, right? You
didn't
lost
you
to 5
didn't blink
seniors.
during that.
Nah,
You lays
he
it
knew
in.
it.
Yeah,
talking
I mean,
about that.
Mark Schmidt, I think, is I'll say top 10 greatest coaches in the country just because of how consistent he is. I think this is year 9 or 10 of winning 20 games in a season, and we're winning 10 more plus games in A10. A10 is not an easy conference to go up against. So to do that 10 years straight, I mean, that's something unbelievable.
Who's the best coach in the NCAA?
Oh boy, I'm a big
Should take 2
Must Bus
seconds.
guy.
Yes,
I'm a big
we
Must
love
Bus guy.
that.
Yeah,
Who
it's the
just-
energy he brings
Yeah,
too. Is
he's awesome. You see 3 5-stars now.
Yeah,
My
that's
brain is
unbelievable.
fucked up. But who just beat Musbus? I keep forgetting.
Just gonna troll you with
Forgot,
that.
huh? Duke didn't just beat him. Coach K is the best coach that ever lived this world.
A lot of people are Coach K haters. I'm not one. I respect him, but
This guy.
I'm not a Coach K either.
Yeah.
Hater either. I'm a Marty hater.
I respect
That's
Coach
fair.
K. I mean, what he's been able to do is unbelievable. Just not the biggest Duke fan.
That's fine.
So
That's fair.
That's fine.
Well, Captain Beer, we really appreciate you coming in.
thank you for having me on, guys.
Congrats on a great run as a
Yeah.
student. I'm excited to see the passing of the
I
hat.
think
do
we're
you
going to
think
work on a
about-
video on that to
Yeah.
kind of.
You definitely have to. What do you think about? You need a minor leagues, just a couple people, because then you need maybe you need a Captain Jack and Coke or a Captain and Coke guy, and
don't
just
mind- I
maybe
don't mind
use
that.
How about fucking High Noon, buddy?
High Noon.
That was a mix.
Sure. Captain
Captain High
Noon.
Noon.
He's a sophomore. He's gonna
Let's
work
go.
his way up
Who's
to
paying the bills?
But it's potential. You could scout you put a high noon on his head. Let's get maybe next Captain Beer if it goes well for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah.
He doesn't, you don't have to.
I don't hate that.
You need the minor leagues of Captain
Yeah.
Beer guys. Have your own little army.
That'd be cool. That'd be something else.
All right. Well,
man,
Captain
thanks
Beer,
for coming
appreciate
on.
it. Safe
Thank you,
travels
guys.
back, and
Thank you.
looking forward to keeping in touch.
Thank you.
All right, that was Captain Beer of St. Bonaventure. Guys, I think we need to interview more super fans moving forward. That guy was electric. What a story.
Yeah, no, he was awesome. I think we should definitely do a bunch of super fans. But like I said in the interview, it's the best thing about college basketball. Those fans that are ride or die. I mean, that guy lives and breathes Bonnie's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know any life without it.
I'm on the edge of my seat to find out who the new Captain Beer is, too.
Yeah, I mean, you got him fast, too. The season just ended.
Yeah, you gotta hope they embrace him too. They're not trying to be like, you're not volume one, like.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like when people win at Barstool. It's like when people want to work here, they have a lot to say, but you got to know if their intentions are right. Is the intentions right being a new beer guy?
Where are you going with that?
What?
What do you mean? People want to work here. Your intentions.
People's intentions are always, I want to work here, but they don't know what it entails sometimes.
Oh, fair.
Wasn't anything crazy. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Just wanted more clarity.
I think he's just
John
expecting
Mayer
you to
wanted a
bully
little
him.
clarity.
Did you think I was trying to go after you there?
No.
You did.
This might be our most contentious podcast.
I just asked the question.
Final
No, you
Four
thought I was
storylines.
talking
I wanted
about you.
clarity. I need a little
my
clarity.
God.
It's all good.
All right, we'll finish the show breaking down the two games with the lines and the spreads and our predictions. But before we do that, we want to talk to you about Game Time. And folks, this is the new exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. They're the only ticketing company Barstool Sports uses to buy tickets, created by fans for fans. Game Time is a new ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. They cracked the code on how to score deals on last-minute tickets. It's possible with the Game Time app to even go to tournament games. You guys, I believe,
Marty, I just wanted to say, we owe these people our lives.
No, like this is like, all right. If I'm a child, and you can say I go to one game ever in my life,
it would be Saturday.
It would
the
be
same
Saturday,
one.
and
Yep.
I thought I had no chance of going. I thought I'd have to scratch, crawl. Rico's texting everybody. All we had to do was Game Time came up out of nowhere and was like, "We got you tickets."
Unbelievable.
That's fucking insane.
It's the best.
And Game Time is the easiest way to get tickets. The only place you should try and get tickets because it's just so easy, and they're always on top of the game. I owe my life to Game Time.
Yeah,
I do.
It's all possible for Marty to have his dream come true with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with your friends via text, so you can get into the game seamlessly, skip the hassle, and enjoy the moment. And the best part, you get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code BENCHMOB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. I mean, that's just amazing.
It's fucking
helped you out,
insane.
yeah.
Like, I literally was just talking to my brother. He's like, dude, do you even realize how crazy it is you're going to be at the game? I'm like, yeah, I realize. This is not like, I've been here. This is amazing. I can't fucking wait. So shout out Game Time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's insane the moment you walk into a Final Four. Like, it feels
I've never
different.
even
It's
been
obviously different,
close
but you
to
can
it.
actually tell it. Yeah. You can
Especially
actually tell
this one's
there's
going to
a
be on
difference.
steroids.
Steroids.
It's crazy.
Still the best appetizer game. The first game is unbelievable as well. I'm also going to have a massive wager on Kansas. So this is a big
Responsibly.
Final Four.
Responsibly.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up the show. 2 games, of course. We'll start with game 1. So we've got number 1 Kansas, number 2 Villanova, 6:09 Eastern time. Kansas favored by 4.5 points. The over/under is 132.5. Riggs, we'll start with you. Everyone's just assuming it's chalk overall. What do you see from a spread perspective, though?
Yeah, I'll probably take Villanova, honestly. Yeah. So Justin Moore thinks they're second best player, but he's their 4th most valuable player. Like, Gillespie is number 1. I think Eric Dixon might be number 2 or 3. Jermaine Samuels is up there too. Like, the reason Villanova's in the Final Four is good Jermaine Samuels has shown up in the NCAA tournament. If you get good Jermaine Samuels, like Dixon, if he stays out of foul trouble, Dixon is a good enough defender to bother McCormick and the Kansas bigs. Offensively, Villanova's offense can give Kansas a lot of trouble. And where's Agbaji been? He's been Kansas, which is, I guess, credit to Kansas that they're in the Final Four with him being like their 6th best player in the tournament. But And he showed up in the second half against Miami, but 4.5, like, I don't know, man. I'll just kind of take the points with Villanova. I know they don't have more, but how many times do we see, like, the first game after a player's out, the team shows up?
Yeah, Creighton did it to Kansas. Who would more match up with defensively that now somebody's going to be in a different role that possibly that guy could go? Like you talk about Abaji. Would it be Abaji? Is now Abaji going to kill Diacono? Like what? Is it going to be a Jalen Wilson game? Are they going to shift Remy Martin when he starts?
No, you put Samuels on Wilson, right? You put Samuels on Wilson, Dixon on McCormick, Daniels probably on Abaji. Or, well, you know what? It might be a Christian Brown game.
See, this is my thing. Everyone's on Kansas.
Everyone.
It's an easy thing.
That's
why I'm worried about
I've flipped to Villanova at one point,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, let me try and go against the grain. Everyone's saying that the Moore's out, but then you get fucking Jay Wright with plus money.
my line of
I'm
thinking.
back on Kansas.
And I get it. Like, it's hard not to take Kansas in this
I'm
game.
back on Kansas because of the storylines, and this is a gut thing where I've said Villanova's frauds. They're obviously not frauds. They're an amazing team. They get to the Final Four. I was wrong. But what I say all year, the depth. Now they don't have this is it.
Right.
They have we talked to Gillespie. The Gillespie's like, hey, yeah, like some of these guys fell out of the rotation. They have been ready to step up. They're gonna have to step up now. It's the biggest stage to step up.
It's a tough game
It's a
to
tough
do it
game.
in. Yeah.
It's not like this is not February game
Right.
and Moore is out. So it's like I'm going Kansas minus 4.5 or 4, whatever it is now. But I'm just going with that literally because of Moore being out.
What number would have to be for you to switch back to Nova?
If it gets to 6,
Then you're switching.
I'm going, and that's too many points. But like, what would the number be with Moore? 2?
Probably 2.
No, it'd probably be like
3.5?
It's probably a point. Yeah, 3.5,
Yeah.
3.
It's an interesting game though. I'm not like confident in Kansas. I'm like Rico said, it's a great appetizer.
I'll
That's
say
what I'd
this:
say.
if the game's tied with 2 minutes left, I think Villanova wins it.
I think
The
if
free
it's,
throws.
I think if I agree. I think if it's close with 5 minutes left, Villanova wins it.
Yeah, they just know how to close games.
Yeah.
I think Kansas has to smoke them and be
I
up
think
10
they have
with
to
5 minutes
start
left.
fast.
Yeah.
Kansas. The thing is, Villanova doesn't let you like. I'm not even kidding. Like when I talk about Duke, if they win, who I'd want to play, I'd rather play Kansas than Villanova.
82% of the handle on Kansas, 73% of the bets on Kansas.
I say
is what
that-
I'm seeing.
That's heavy, right?
And
But money, when the money and the bets are on one side, you don't want it opposite. You don't want a ton of the money on Nova and 90% of the hand.
What's
that
more
means
important?
the money.
The money's more important than the
Yeah,
handle?
because number
Money's
of
way
bets
important than number.
I
account.
don't even know.
The handle is what matters. So the money's following the public, which whatever. But it makes me feel a little less squirmy. I'm still fucking squirmy on Kansas.
Well, you have to be at this point.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I mean, it's just like you said, Jay. Right? Like, and they shot like shit. I want to look into how bad they shot from the free throw line all year. I feel like that was a rarity, and they got it out of their way. A lot of these guys, like Braun and Martin, they're all above 70% from the free throw line. But I could just see Nova hitting a meaningless 3 that's very meaningful to fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked. I really will. When Wright talks about it, I'll be really shocked if Nova pulls it out. As good as they are, I just still think
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be
But I understand.
I'd be
what
Yeah,
you're-
it wouldn't be
surprised.
shocked,
I'd be
but-
surprised, not shocked. Let's put it that way. I really do think Kansas has too many weapons for them. Nova's going to give them everything, but I really would be surprised if Nova wins.
If I wasn't a bully, if I was a bully, I'm
They're
not.
synonymous. Those are synonymous words.
But surprised
Shocked and
and shocked are the
surprised.
same word.
Yeah.
No.
That's that Duke education coming through.
Shocking news is
You're surprised.
mostly bad. Surprised is,
What?
hey, happy birthday.
You're shocked at a surprise party.
No. Unless you have a weak ticker.
All right. Riggs is on Nova. You two are on Kansas. I'll make it a split. I think Villanova. I think there's.
You've been
two-
riding Nova all year.
I have been, yeah. So why not?
I'm on Nova to cover. I think
Yeah.
Kansas wins, but I'll take Nova to cover.
I honestly, seriously, like what I'm going to do, and people probably say, I'm probably going to lay 167 with Kansas -2. I think I'm in an okay, like I'm not doing the 200 money line.
Yeah.
I don't see it, obviously if it lands on one, the dumbest person in the room. I think I'm going to lay the 167 with 2. It's better than the opening number. I loved it at 3. That's what I want. Unfortunately, I don't live in a state. I don't go through the state.
You'll be in a state.
I will be in the state. So when I land, that's when the decision will come. It's probably going to be the biggest of the tournament.
All right.
And that hook is what's really catching me, because that does smell like Kansas up 7.
Yep.
12 seconds to go. Nova hits a 3, and then Jay Wright just calls off the dogs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's possible. All right, so we're split on the first game in terms of the spread. I think Villanova has a chance to win the game. I don't know if I'm bold enough to say it, though. And then the second game, of course, the craziest game lead up in college basketball history. There's really no argument. Maybe there is an argument, but not on this panel. North Carolina Duke, number 8 versus number 2, 8:49 Eastern time. Marty, before we get into the game, you have a little rant about rooting for a team you didn't go to school for, right?
Yeah. So I want to do a let's talk about it, because everyone in the world, every comment is, what year did you graduate? I graduated in 2016. I took one class online just to say I went there. But without a troll, Marty, for 2 seconds in my life, I don't understand. So if I went to Providence, right, and I'm still rooting for Duke this much, that's a problem, in my opinion.
With no ties.
No ties. And if you went to Providence, you're like my brother is a prime example. We both grew up as Duke fans. My grandpa was the biggest Duke fan there was. He went to Seton Hall. He's a Seton Hall fan now. When I played D3 baseball at Mount St. Mary College. I grew up a Duke fan. I watched Duke my entire life. Even in college at Mount St. Mary, I would root for Duke. When they got bounced by Mercer, I left class crying. I left. It was horrible. The thing, I don't understand why you can't be a fan if you didn't go there. I don't get the whole premise of, like, in certain situations I understand you should, it's kind of fugazi. But if I'm a fucking went to D3, why can't I be a Duke fan? And I understand the funniness. I understand the funniness of me being an East Coast Duke and Yankees fan.
That's
I understand
exactly
the funny
and
part.
the fact that you're over the top with it. Like, I'm a Yankee fan from Florida, but people don't really give me shit for it because I'm not over the top.
Well, you're from Florida.
But that's how I am. I'm rider. Like, I die with this team. I get very upset when games are over. I fucking lose my mind. That's how I am. But like I'm a Rangers fan. I don't really care that much about the Rangers,
right?
But because my brother's a Rangers fan. That's it. This is the two teams that I'm like whatever. But to discredit it, people go nuts, and I love trolling into it. I love being like, oh, I went to Duke. It's fun to do. But I don't think it's crazy to not be able to root for a team.
I think it's because it's Duke and because of the way you handle yourself.
And I understand.
Like, Jeff Delo's a huge UConn fan. He didn't go there.
I understand the hate, or like I'm okay with it. You can tell it, but I think you're allowed to root for a team.
Where did Jeff go to school? He didn't go to UConn?
No,
went to Penn State.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can take
only flaw.
I can take the hates. I could take it all. I understand the hate, but I also don't think you could say you can't root for a team.
Yeah, I think there are layers to it, right? Like, if you grow up a fan of, and it happens with most of the programs in this Final Four, right? The programs that they're fans of that don't go to school. Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, and probably Kansas are the 4 most common ones. If you grow up your entire life as a fan of one of those programs and you go to a non-Division I school, I completely get it. Like, I didn't grow up a Kentucky fan because I'm not from Kentucky. I'm not from the area. My dad went to Wake Forest. I was a Wake Forest fan when I was a kid. When I decided to go to Kentucky, I dropped Wake Forest, and I obviously a diehard Kentucky fan. So there are layers to all different fandoms, right? Like, everyone's always like, well, why do you hate this person from Duke more than Christian Laettner? It's like, well, first off, I was 5 when that happened. Second of all, like, I wasn't a diehard Kentucky fan at the time. No one in my family was or is. If you start choosing teams when you're like high school age and you stick with it, then I start having more of a problem with it, because it's like, all right, I get you pick teams a little later in life, but still, like, what's your reasoning here? You're just cheering for the good teams. And then if you do go to a Division I school, like I yell about this, so Ohio State football is a prime example of where I live, right? Cincinnati, like, Ohio State football is prominent here. There are people that go to like Cincinnati and cheer for Ohio State football or one of the MAC schools. And I'm like, so when Akron plays Ohio State in week 1, who are you cheering for? Because a loss to Akron knocks Ohio State out of the playoffs, and you don't want your school to win?
I'm actually on the flip side of that. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you college basketball, you grow up. Part of what sports makes unbelievable is you start rooting at a young age. Mm-hmm. Like I said all the time, like 7 years old, Grant Hill was dunking. I watched. They lost to Arkansas. That's the other thing too. Like you're not a front runner. The first game I ever watched, they lost. The second championship game I ever watched Duke play, they lost. So like it wasn't until I was 14 to see a championship. So like, shut up with that.
I love that though, because no one sees championships. You got it at 14. It's awesome.
It's true. No,
I know. It's
99 was the worst day of my life in school. It was horrible. Fucking fat Khalid El-Amin. We shocked the world. Yeah, you shocked the fucking weight system too, you fat fuck. If you go like if you're a diehard like UNC fan growing up, like the Ed Cota jersey and Jordan and all that shit, and just even the fucking colors as a kid, like kids choose stuff as kids, dumb reasons. Whatever. It's obviously meaningful if your uncle took you to games, like whatever. You all root for that. But like if you end up going, I mean, we just talked to the kid. You go to St. Bonnie's, right? But like you're a UNC fan. I don't like while you're there, you're rooting for the Bonnies. But like let's be honest, like you're not gonna have many meaningful Bonnies. I don't expect you to just give up your Carolina.
Disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree.
You pick there to go to school as well.
Right,
like,
but you can
you
have a
don't
soft
automatically
spot.
have to be a super fan. I don't think you should give. All right, put it this way: you should definitely root for the school while you're there. And in 15 years, when they make that Elite Eight run, like St. Peter's, like, oh, that's my school. But like, you don't give up your like all the days of you watching games with your dad and going to games and buying the shit. You don't just automatically give that up.
But like I said,
You
my
have a
brother,
You're a
soft spot
Carolina
that you can't
fan
get that
longer.
hard.
my brother's the same way. Where it's like we were every game we watched Duke, and then he's a Seton Hall guy. Like I swear to God, I wish like a Dukes, like a Dayton guy, where it's like not that big of a school, where like you get that little bit of, and like they recognize you,
Right.
and like that Duke doesn't give a fuck about me. They have huge alumni, and like these small schools, that's sick. That Bonnie's guy who went to the NIT, he was almost crying.
Right.
Like that's like I'm
Yeah, but
obviously
he's
will
from
always
the
take
area-
Duke. I'm not saying Phil.
Right.
I'll never take back that. It's fucking best being a good team, but I just think it's crazy to like actually get upset about people rooting for a team that they've always liked, and I don't care.
Well, like, here's
You
an
keep saying
example,
it.
Rico. Like, I grew up living and dying Wake Forest, right? Wake played Kentucky in the 2010 NCAA tournament. I said every negative thing about Wake Forest to my father I could possibly find. I wanted them to lose 700-0. Like, to me, like, you're going to have a soft spot. I want Wake in the tournament every year. The moment they play Kentucky, I want them
well, you're going
to
two.
score negative
You're going
points.
two powerhouses. I'm going one of like you can go to
But
a
still,
lot of schools that are irrelevant. You know, like, and I don't expect you to just give up your fandom. That's all.
See, I think you can have a soft spot, but I don't think you can be like the super fan.
Yeah, like if I went, like I said, if I went to I went to fucking St. Bonnie's.
You went to Rutgers,
and I'm doing
St.
this.
Bonaventure.
If I went to St. Bonnie's and I'm doing this right now about how much I love Duke, would you be like, all right, guy, you went to St. Bonnie's?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't.
Like,
really
St. Bonaventure was in the
penalize
tournament a
people.
year ago.
Colleges have. I mean, I get it, but you're not necessarily pigeonholed into their like you choose on your life. Like you're going to school. I know that's probably a corny answer, but like you're going to school, you shouldn't. Why are we not just choosing on football? Everybody would go to the school they get to go. You don't. Sometimes you don't get to choose where you get to go to school.
Hence me.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
couldn't go to, like,
whatever.
money wise.
I do think it's
smart wise.
People are going away from like one of my favorite things too is like just finding out like, oh, why are you a Tennessee Titans fan? It's like, well, you know, I got displaced and I lived with my uncle and he fucking in Nashville and he took me to Tennessee games. Or like he would always come over and we would root on this one player, like random guy. Like I just became a Steve McNair. That to me like is endearing, and I feel somewhere along the line the internet chose to be like, you're a fan of this team. That's stupid, but it's okay for me to be a fan for my reason.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think college is just different than pros. Though.
You're a DeVry fan.
Yes,
All right, I thought that was a good conversation.
That was a good
but my
joke.
team's never going to be there. So yeah, I mean, you know.
It's a good
I
conversation.
I tend to lean with Jake, where I think the reason people zero in on you is because of how obnoxious you are about it.
Yeah,
but,
which I
but
understand,
don't-
though.
Right, exactly. Isn't that your intended outcome. You're doing it to rile people up.
I just couldn't,
I'm doing it to rile people up.
I give you credit on that because I couldn't fight that
So
many
I don't think you
wars.
can question why are people so mad
No,
at me when
I'm
you're
not
doing that.
questioning it. I'm just more like people actually are mad that I'm a Duke fan. Not the way I'm acting. It's more just
I don't
like
have an issue with you being a Duke
the
fan.
acting.
It's how
I
you
understand.
talk
I'm
about
being
it.
an asshole for a reason. It's also I'm winning. It's funny with
like-
the content. But like just to say, keep saying what year did you go to
That's
it?
the way they come back at you, like as opposed to.
Oh yeah, I get it, but I think they're serious. Like you can't like Cons literally put a tweet out. I don't get
can't-
how
right.
people you can't root for a team they didn't go to. I think that's just wrong.
I saw he
That-
actually wrote about Eric Church too.
Yeah, like I think that's more to the thing where like I'm not mad at people replying. It's more like the people that don't think you can root for a team if you didn't go there.
Yeah.
Because then the world wouldn't be able to root for any team.
Right.
Right.
I can't grow
Yeah,
up
New
in
Orleans is going to be
Florida.
50%. New Orleans is going to be 50% not graduates.
Yeah, you're gonna have everyone. You could only graduate from a school. There'd be not many people would be at these games.
Right.
Right.
Duke's a small
Now, I
school,
do
right?
think
Yeah, it's a very
as a
small
fan, as a fan of a team similar like to Duke, where there's a lot of non-graduate fans, I don't look at them like lesser, but it's almost like 1A, 1B in terms of fandom because it's like I do feel a little more invested as a fan going there than the person who just grew up in Nicholasville, Kentucky, or whatever.
Right.
So it is weird in that sense, just because it's like, well, is there a little bit of difference in fandom? But like, if you're a diehard from day one, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Let's make a pick on this Duke.
Yeah,
Kentucky
let's wrap up
UNC
here.
game, 'cause I don't think
Reeks, let's get your take on the game. The line's 4, and the over-under is much higher than the first game. The first game is 132.5. This one's 151.
Under. Screams under.
Okay.
Really?
Like, both teams are playing better defensively. All of a sudden, Duke's running a 2-3 zone that people can't fucking figure out.
I like the over.
And-
I didn't want to pick a side. I'm actually on the over.
I feel like this is always juiced up a couple extra points. Everyone always takes overs in Duke-UNC, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that like always the play?
Yes.
It also kind of feels like, would you be surprised if Duke comes out like fucking tight butthole? So scared to lose to Carolina again. It's like it takes them 5-6 minutes to really get in the footing.
I could see a Coach K timeout
No, I
down
think
11-4.
I think they're actually
wouldn't
back.
shock me.
I think they're actually back in their groove. I saw them playing tight assholes with Virginia Tech. I really did. And that's part of the reason, too. I was like, and Stanford Steve said it, too. Like, I just didn't think they could win a national championship. What they've done in the first 4 games here is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Turning around. Now, Cal State Fullerton's whatever. But Texas Tech was really good. Arkansas was really good. Michigan State's no slouch. Like, they've been able to turn it on. So,
Yeah. And
I
Reeks, who
disagree
thinks
with that.
wins? Sorry.
I don't think they come out slow.
I mean, Duke's going to win. Like, that's the NCAA tournament's rigged. It's going to be Duke winning it all.
Yeah. Rico?
I'm not picking a side. I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
I'm
Marty,
obviously rooting for Duke.
You obviously are on Duke.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer the question because I'm not going to even talk about the game because people. I think they are in their groove. They could come out a little slow. The pressure thing people keep talking about. They've had pressure this entire tournament, and I know it's a lot of pressure now. It's the biggest pressure thing, but so does UNC. It's the Final Four. They want that. Everyone's like, oh, they can ruin it. Like they have pressure on them too, and Duke has
For sure.
dealt with it. Again, like I said, I really do think it was big that they didn't blow them out in Durham too, because beating them 3 times would have been like the cakewalk, and now it's like, okay, we have to play.
It's
Right.
still a weird read to me that both games were decided by what? 15, 20 points?
yeah.
20 points? Yeah, so that's weird to me. Like, you saw 2 blowouts.
I have no idea what to expect.
I don't.
Yeah.
I truthfully don't. Like, we haven't seen a war. Honestly, I think it might upset some people. I think one way or the other it could be a blowout.
UNC could blow them out again?
I'm just
I can
saying.
see
Like,
Duke
I'm
smoking
just
them.
saying
I don't think
it's.
so.
I think everyone's putting some. Like, I mean, a perfect example is last year. You put all those eyeballs. This is gonna be a great game. Plays out the way it plays out. Look at the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls have been uneventful? And everyone's like, it's just how it
Just
happens.
looking at the matchups, Baycott Williams, pretty much even out. Then and they're both really fucking good.
Manic, Paolo, good luck defending each other there.
Yeah, Paolo's obviously a better basketball player, but Manic's been the
Right,
highest
but
player.
defensively.
Could be-
Defensive player.
yeah, he
and
could be
then you
crafty
have
and get him in
Roach,
foul trouble, too.
You have Roach and Caleb Love, where it's like
They've both been on
Roach
fire.
has been on fire, Caleb Love's been on fire. But then you got AJ Griffin, who's like, and then Wendell Moore. Wendell Moore is not someone I'm going to praise a lot, but he's been playing pretty good.
Yeah. And then you have like Leaky Black who can defend. Like, it is weird.
It's a weird matchup.
matchup-wise.
Yeah, that's why I think the
Carolina
over-
shoots a lot of threes because they could
Yeah.
catch fire, or they could go 6 for
It's
32.
more about if Manic fucking if he's
if he's hot again.
we're fucked.
Yeah, that
Because
could
we
be the
don't
X
shoot
factor.
threes well at all.
No.
So
Right. All
Right.
Yeah, my
And
take
if they hit
is
14 or something like that, yeah,
I
it
think
could
Carolina's got a good
I want-
3-point defense as well too.
probably that's like
Correct me if
NBA
I'm wrong.
staple with Hubert.
Pretty sure they are.
3-point defense. North Carolina is 205th.
Really?
Yeah.
In percentage or attempts?
Percentage. Their
What about
3-point
attempts?
defense is 34%. 3-point attempts / field goal attempts, it is 142.
So they're average. Okay.
Yeah. I want UNC to win. If I had to make a pick, I would say Duke wins. But yeah, that's the show. We'll be in New Orleans. We'll record a show after the game Sunday, after the game's Monday, and we'll have a season recap next Thursday. So we'll be down there. It's going to be incredible. It'll be out very late. So just plan on first thing Sunday morning. Unless you're up at 4 in the morning and buzzing. We'll be buzzing either way.
yeah, 100%.
Because if Duke wins, it's going to be
depends if I'm I'll let you know if I'm buzzing.
it'll
It's
be
gonna
Press
be-
buzz.
an all-time episode either way.
Yep.
Because either
It's either going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be something. It's either going to be dancing on Coach K and Marty, or Marty just being the
so
worst
annoying.
Yankees.
Right.
Duke
That's
fan
what's
of all time.
awesome. It's going to be one way or the other all time.
I'm gonna cry either way.
We'll be down there all weekend, Friday through Monday. Should be a lot of fun. And we'll see you then.